that same night.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Rich Taylor, Speck Media YouTube channel here, live and direct with my co-host, my brother from another mother, Aaron Yeezy Yee. This is By the Dip 19.1, episode 19.1. I call it 19.1 because we do the extra day, but we're going to move the show permanently to Tuesdays. Well, I wouldn't say permanently, but indefinitely for the time being. Till Tuesdays, but let's go ahead and bring Aaron in and say hello to everybody. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. I'm excited because I have a Wednesday off tomorrow. I get to Wednesday Warrior it.
Nice, dude. Lucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna go chase after that Deadpool versus Wolverine Del Auto, the one per store. So nice. I'm probably gonna try to hit up one store. So we'll see how I get to test out my new comic book shop, right?
You know, it's funny. Hey, by the way, thank you, Mike, holding it down with the wrench as always. I'll get to the chat in a second. Just saying hello to everybody, catching up with Aaron. So I saw the trailer, the latest trailer, and because I didn't see the first teaser, but I don't know. I just wait till like the official, and then I just saw the one that dropped last week. I got so excited. I watched Deadpool 1 and 2 twice last weekend. Twice. I wasn't feeling good, and skipped out on a couple things, and I wanted to.
How far are you gonna go down that deep dive, though? Are you gonna go down like watching all the Fox films again?
Well, no, I've seen Deadpool 1 at least 10 times. I've seen Deadpool 2 at least somewhere close to that, but I've never watched with the subtitles on. Never. And lately I've been watching with the subtitles on. I used to watch once and then do the subtitles, but I just stopped doing that for a while. Well, lately, the last like couple months, I've been watching everything that has to do with what we do or anything that's good with the subtitles on. I don't know why. I just been doing it. Maybe because of Shogun. Maybe Shogun's got me with subtitles. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But long story short, there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't even believe I missed. Like all these years later, like 5 years later, I was like, oh, that's what he said. I thought he said this. But long story short, I went into I did an FOC. I was thinking about doing an FOC video. I was actually going to tell you about it, but after I left early Saturday, I just kind of shined it. But there's a book coming on. It was on FOC on Monday. It's not a Deadpool book, but it's a Wolverine book. It's a Virgin. I think it's a 1 in 100, and Wolverine's wearing the Silver Samurai suit because Wolverine 50 is supposed to be the last issue, and he's fighting his Victor Sabretooth. And dude, this cover is so sick. I looked everywhere for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere cheaper. I on eBay selling for like 140 to 150 bucks. All the online retailers were selling it for like 160 to 200. I said, forget about it.
Is this where he's in that antimantium like armor or whatever?
Yeah. He's he basically, it reminded me of the Silver Samurai from the from the comics, but also from the Wolverine.
Yeah.
So case in point is that when I was watching Deadpool 2, you know how when they're in the prison, there's that one guy that looks like Sabretooth, right? But they don't say Sabretooth or Victor Creed or whatever. So I was trying to put 2 and 2 together, and I think I was watching a live stream or something, and they kept saying that, or no, it was Friday night. Ben was saying, oh, that's why I was watching. Okay, Ben was saying, hey, Deadpool is a Marvel movie, but it's not a Marvel movie, right? Because it's not MCU continuity because it's Fox. So I went back and watched it, and I was like, so does that mean that was never said? Like, I just started tripping out thinking about that, and then when I saw that cover, I was like, oh fuck, I wonder if Sabretooth ends up showing up in Deadpool 3. It's actually not Deadpool 3. I guess Deadpool versus Wolverine. But anyways, I just wanted to let everybody know to look out for that cover.
Yeah, but everyone's going to refer to it as Deadpool 3 no matter what, right?
Yeah, of course. And I guess like not Feige, but I don't know, maybe Bob Iger. I don't know. Somebody that's connected, that's an executive, came out, and one of those scoopers like Alex, I think his name's Alex Perez, or it was Daniel RPK, or one of them were like, no, or maybe it was French toast sandwich. Can we get some French toast sandwich or whatever it's called? Was saying, no, it's not Deadpool 3. They like kind of like got like a little bit chippy about it. It's Deadpool versus Wolverine. So I was going, okay, so in that movie, when they break, because you know how he does tons of Easter eggs and callbacks, and so if he goes and he refers to any of those two movies, does that turn that into Deadpool 3? Because that would be, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, but doesn't it already refer to it as Deadpool? I mean, because the flashbacks of like him with the memories of all the people, like Blind Owl, Vanessa, and like any of those people, like that's already a callback to Deadpool 1 and 2 at this point.
Blind Owl's not going to be in the movie, or yeah, Blind Owl is in the movie, or no? Deadpool 3 or Wolverine versus Deadpool. Do you know?
She made that joke about the cocaine or whatever. So
okay, so I guess the ones that aren't going to be in the movie is the funny dude that I'm so mad about, the bartender dude. What's his name?
The dude that got canceled.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. Freaking I forgot his name, but he's in the comics too. But Dopinder is in there, and I don't know. I did a lot of research after I watched the movies, and I found out all this stuff, some confirmed stuff, some non-confirmed.
I wonder if Hydra Bob's gonna get a call back.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. That'd be incredible.
Well, I mean, because they didn't kill him in Deadpool, 2, or was that 1? He just knocks him out. He just knocks him out in Deadpool.
He just knocks him out. I think that was Deadpool.
That was 1 because it was right before Vanessa.
And then, how did they not recast? I mean, not recast. I'm sorry. How did they not have Brolin's Cable and ZZ Beats Domino? I was watching too, going, "Holy shit, they are so good!" And I was sober.
Yeah, they are. You know? I mean, she's a good actress.
Yeah,
she's a good actress. Like, I mean, that's why I like watching Atlanta.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyways, so I just wanted to share that with you. This was actually a really sneaky big FOC. There was a couple books that were supposed to be on FOC, but they pushed them. That's the Canto on the new Canto. I think it's called Canto something about home or something like that. David Mack's doing a 1 in 10 on the Dark Horse, and it's incredible.
Oh, I forgot they switched over to Dark Horse instead of IDW, huh?
Yeah, they postponed that, and then there's like, let's see, what else did I mean, there's a book there. Marvel dropped the ball on this one. Midnight Suns is coming out one, but there's a variant cover that has Blade's head on the front, and it has like all the Midnight Suns in it. It's like tattooed or drawn into his brain, like he's thinking of it. It almost looks like that Taskmaster 3 1 in 25 Shane Davis. How the Taskmaster it is. Taskmaster is on Black Widow's leg, and they dropped the ball. They made that open to order. They could have totally made that incentive. Helverine has some pretty unbelievable covers coming out. So yeah, it was a pretty big FOC. I'm pretty excited, but yeah, look out for that one. Wolverine 50. I think it's a 1 in 100. It's a virgin. It's incredible. It's an incredible cover.
What do you think about that? Did you see that that Blade JTC negative cover that's coming out tomorrow?
I saw that too. I thought that was actually pretty nice. I thought it was actually pretty nice. You don't like it?
I like the Werewolf by Night one.
Yeah, that one's cool.
That one, like with that green background, like pops a little bit more. This Blade one's like so. Yeah. But didn't he do Blade like a red cover with Blade not too long ago?
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about this probably all night. Let's save it for the end of the show. If Aaron is still up and he's not falling asleep.
I don't have work tomorrow, so I can
he doesn't have work tomorrow, so maybe this might be a fucking all night affair, man. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. All right.
We're gonna break up the show into segments. We're gonna start. I thought here.
I was like, dude, Aaron's kind of like in a really good mood right now.
It's because I don't have work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I like it. Hey, what up, Jersey the Bay?
I almost thought about grabbing an energy drink, but I was like, kind of like, well, I don't want to mess up my hours that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Need that sleep, baby. What up, Jersey the Bay? He says, yo. Brad Selden, I don't think he probably went to sleep. He usually watches a replay because him and Patrick M and a few more, they're on the East Coast. So I get it. Still love you guys. He says, I will dream of listening to the replay. Appreciate you, Brad, if you're still out there. If not, if you're watching the replay, love you. Okay. Mojo Quid, he says, what's happening, Pete? What up, Mojo? And of course, AOA holding it down. Best moderator in the community. Funhouse Comics is very close second. He's going ahead and dropping everybody's IG. What up, AOA?
Dang, we got two of the best moderators in the comic game. In the house.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Moderator wars. Rocksteady, what up, man? He's saying, what's up from Canada? What up, man? Man, Rocksteady, man, he shows some pretty crazy collectibles that I would even imagine. I didn't even know were popular that are he's 4 steps ahead of people. This guy's a great speculator, and on top of that, an unbelievable freaking person. Thank you, Rocksteady, for joining us.
Do you know what he sent me?
Boys.
I mean,
send you?
Not send me. Like, do you know what he sent me to send to PSA?
No.
Connor McDavid's first hockey.
What?
Like first hockey ticket.
I forgot he loves hockey cards too. So does Newbie. So that's
yes. He hit a PSA 8 on that. Like, that's been the highest graded ticket I've sent so far. So
yeah. So I want to get back in it. I think I still have the slides. I might still have the slides. But yeah, I think I still have the slides after the show. If you know, depending on the energy, we'll go over. I mean, FOC's passed, but you guys can mark your calendar. Scotty Young has a big week. That I think it's like what Jersey is it May 30th? It comes out that whatever that Wednesday is. It's like 30 days, right? Penguin Random House. Well, he not only does the Helverine cover, Helverine 1, which is incredible. It's like that. Remember the Scotty Young on the Ghost Rider on the scooter baby variant?
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar to that, but he also does the Scarlet Witch cover that's open to order. But then there's I think it's a 1 in 50, or I think it's 1 in 50. He does a sketch of this Scarlet Witch, and it's black and white, and it's probably going to pop too. So, yeah, good one, Jersey of the Bay. Slack, what up, man? He says, I'm awake for the live stream. Stoked. Good evening, folks. What up, Mark? Appreciate you, brother. AOA, throwing up the horns. Rocksteady, of course, man. Of course, man. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get to the show. We have a really fun list tonight. The number one book is going to shock you guys, and I'm going to be frank with you guys. I probably, when I get off of here, well, it won't be tonight, but it'll be tomorrow once my funds clear. I think I'm going to jump off and buy this book, but let's wait till we get there. So it's way down in value, and it's a good one too. So I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad the whole circle, the whole community's here that we all hang out with. So I appreciate you. Spidey guy, he says, hey, Richie. Hey, how's it? He says, hey, Richie. Hey, how's it? Glad I made it for tonight's Surprise Tuesday show. I'm not mad at you guys. Oh yeah, I forgot. You know, you were on my mind, bro. I actually, Aaron told me over the weekend about moving the show to Tuesday, so Bryan McClay could do a what's it called when you push the audience? It's a cross, or
like
a term for it,
like
right?
a raid. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. There's and I at first it kind of shocked me because I was like, well, I don't know if they'll. You know, I didn't think the timing was right, but I wanted to do it. And when I was talking to Aaron, he was working at the UFL football game at Rice Stadium, the Houston Roughnecks. I think they were doing the national anthem.
They were about to start.
And there was probably people around.
Yeah. So yeah, and you were still talking. I was like, hey man, I gotta go. I was like, I'll call you back in a second.
Yeah, and I was like, man, is he mad at me? Did I do something? He's like,
no,
I know. And then I figured it out. I was like, oh shit, he probably had people around him. He doesn't want to be like, yeah, so dude, you see fucking FOC this week? You know, when everybody's like, oh yeah. So well, yeah, I get you.
I was in the command center where where like athletic directors are, and also like RUPDs right there. So like yeah, so I was like, and then like just like high profile people, right? So I was like kind of like, oh well, I can't be in a Rice like t-shirt and show disrespect to this, so let me go ahead and just drop off the phone call.
Well, I felt bad, I was like, oh shit, I know, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
really, I knew what was happening. I got it, but I didn't realize like, oh, he's probably in public, or he's in the office, or there's people around him, and he's probably, so
yeah.
I
Oh,
forgot about it. I
which
forgot
was
about moving the show
oh
to Tuesday, Spidey guy, and then I made it to Monday, and then I go, oh crap, we wanted to do Tuesday, so I changed it, and I thought about you, Spidey guy. I was actually going to message you on IG and tell you I was sorry. So go ahead, Aaron. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
oh also, guess who else I met up there in the VIP section?
Who?
Booker T, the wrestler.
No way. Awesome. Did you
Yeah,
get an autograph or anything? Or?
nah, like he was like on his way out of the area, and I was on my way in, and then I was like, I didn't want to go up to him and be like, "Hey man, do you care if I take a selfie real quick?"
What's his signature move? I can't remember.
I don't know. I'm not that big fan of wrestling. I just
Because
remember him and that he lived in the area. Like,
my favorite wrestler of all time is Jake the Snake Roberts. If I met him, I'd be like, bro, DDT me now. So Dad Life, he says, hey, what up, Dad Life? I appreciate you, man. Hey, thank you guys for watching the videos too. I do work hard on them, but I also do love doing them and breaking cards as well. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been really showing me support. I really appreciate that. I'm not really getting a lot of views because like 95% of our subscribers are comic people, and I get it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys helping me out there. It means a lot. Dad Life was watching the video today, and he left me some really nice comments. He says, yo, hope everyone is having a great night. Appreciate you, Dad Life, man. Take care of those kids, brother. Tell your kids we say what up, man. Rocksteady says Booker T was one of the best. Yeah, totally agree. Funhouse says, did Bryan mention it? It was my idea to raid after his show ended. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, let's go. Enough of the small talk. By the Dip, episode 19. Thank you guys for watching. We are at 940 subscribers. We're 60 away from crossing that monetary 1,000 threshold, and then it's all downhill from there. This has been a journey, and it's going to continue as well. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for sharing. Aaron and I really appreciate it. We're almost there, so let's get into it. But before we get into it, we have to pay the bills. As TiVo would say, shout out to Lawrence Longbox. Love you, TiVo. Make sure you guys are using comic mailers from Gemini Comic Supply. If you're sending raw books, magazines, now they got slab mailers, and they're awesome. Popcorn 99, you'll get 10% off your next purchase. There's a bonus code SSP99, like super short print 99. For additional 10% off, you can share with your buddy, your family, or what have you. Make sure you're using Gemini Comic Supply. Let's get going here. Aaron, were you going to say something, buddy?
Oh, what was it? I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
It's okay. Yeah.
So as you guys know, Aaron and I are co-hosts on the House of Stein YouTube channel, Hot 10, the original Hot 10 show by Ben Stein, the one and only Ben Stein, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have 4 lists on there. If you guys like this list stuff, comic speculation, investment, market reports, and comedy, just real good fun. And we go ahead and we do Buy the Dip. We do a 4 to 5 book list on Buy the Dip, and we pitch in. Ben usually would do the list, but then now we're kind of just pitching in. I'll do 1 or 2. Aaron does 1 or 2. Ben will do 1. Sometimes Aaron will come to the table with 5. So Bryan will bring 1. So it's a real good time. So we go ahead and cover last week's Buy the Dip list on the House of Stein original Hot 10 show. Let's get to number 5, which we'll call it honorable mentions. That's what we're going to call them now. House of Stein, Buy the Dip list, honorable mentions. Let's go. Oops, that's not right. Wait a minute. Oh, my bad. we were covering it. Okay, here we go. Honorable mentions. Here we go.
We fast forward.
My bad. Me and Aaron, we get backstage and we get talking just like we're doing now, and we just lose ourselves. So I guess I was reviewing the slides. I forgot to start them up. All right, here we go. 8 Billion Genies, issue number 1, the Ryan Brown regular cover. Of course, Image Comics. This was a very popular book. We're looking at a CGC 9.8 in this book. What's going on here, Aaron?
So a CGC 9.8 sold for a whopping $55. This is at its all-time lowest price ever. Which, that kind of surprised me with what I thought there was some more recent confirmation about the series coming out onto Amazon or something like that. What was the other part of it? Aren't they doing a part 2 for the comic series?
Yeah, they're doing a second series, so volume 2. I think we talked about that on Friday. I think Ben might have said, or maybe it was you, I don't remember, but yeah. So, and I think the chat maybe said it. They are doing a volume 2. Charles Soule, which you guys, I mean, he's very classic creator writer. He's mostly known for Star Wars comics, and then Ryan Brown. And then I think didn't Tony Fleeks and Trish Fortuner do some covers for this book?
Right. Well, now I'm remembering about all the issues with the store variants when the creators are selling copies of other stores before they even had them in hand, like at that one convention. Like I don't know how that is allowed or happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, when you upset a bunch of retailers like that, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to do volume or series 2 covers or anytime soon, and that's going to spread to some of their friends too as well. So
yeah,
I guess I could see now. I kind of remember all the drama with that, of why, like, people won't believe in this, but and then at the same time, like, what's the other part? Like, can you honestly tell me a Amazon property that's gone up in value in comics?
Yeah,
after this?
I could give you The Boys, Umbrella Academy.
That was Netflix.
Oh, that was Netflix. You're right. My bad. Invincible.
True.
Adam and Eve, which is still kind of Invincible. Or Adam Eve. Let's see here.
I would say The Boys just like kind of stayed steady.
Yeah, definitely. But it always has, because I had a 9.8 for a long time, and I just held on to it. I think I got it for like $120 in 2019, 18, 19. I think it was 18. And every time the show would be in a lull, so there was no news for 6 months to a year, and then there was no show for 18 months. It would be at around between 250 to 300. And then once we get the trailers, we get news, and then it would go to that 400, 425, even 450. We get news, and then it would, just real short term, and then it would drop back down to that 300. And then once we got that trailer, goes back up to like 425, and then the series starts, it sits at like 400, and it goes through all the series. It stays at about $400. And long story short, that book is just always between that margin between 275 to 425, depending.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I guess I always catch it on the
Last of Us. Oh, Last of Us isn't Amazon though. That's HBO.
That was Max.
Yeah.
Well, because then you also had like stuff like Paper Girls, right?
Paper Girls. That's actually, yeah. I see where you're coming from. No,
right.
I don't think you're completely wrong. I don't disagree, but I do think I would say at least half, maybe a little bit more of the adaptations with Prime probably don't. If they probably all move, I would say they'd all move, but it's short term on at least half of them.
Right. Then you have to be paying attention closely to like when those trailers drop, or when those different announcements happen. Like those are your times to dig it out of that box and get it
Totally.
ready.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I remember Herogasm did really well, but then that book just after what was it, third season? Was it second season or third season with what's his name?
Orgasm.
What's his name? The Captain America dude. That dude's so
funny. Oh yeah.
That dude's so funny, dude.
Oh,
what's his name, guys? Chat. Let me know. No. That dude that plays Captain America, the white dude, super good looking dude, buff dude.
Yeah,
he talks like this. He was captured by the Russians, and they went and Soldier Boy.
Thank
you, Slack. Thank you very much. Yeah, that dude is hilarious, dude. That guy makes it. That guy's so good. Yeah, but yeah, like Gen V didn't really do anything for any books. I mean, I know Boys 1 didn't really do anything. I think there was a few keys during the later in the run that had those characters in there. But
yeah, it also sucks that that lead actor in Gen V, he
died. He passed away.
He passed away.
Yeah,
in a motorcycle accident.
That's so bad. Hey, what up, Manny? The comic collectors in the chat. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm really glad you came, brother. Manny the comic collector says, I have many copies of 8 billion genies I might have to sell. Well, make sure you wait, because right now would probably be the absolute worst time at $55 on a 9.8. Manny, do you have what's that? Is it an incentive or limited, that with the cat on it? I love that cover. That cover so.
Oh, that's a 1 in 10. I want to say
1 in 10. Okay.
I think it's one of the incentives.
Soldier Boy, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a 1 in 10 or 1 in 25.
Yeah. So I mean, I think $50, $55. I'm a buyer. I like this property. I believe in it. I'm just probably not going to be putting it in my PC. It'd be something that I'd be waiting for a bump at $50, and then hopefully it bumps up to about 150 or 125, 150, and then get rid of it. But that's just my opinion. I like the Jenny Frison cover too. It's open to order. But anyways, let's move on.
I do like that cover too.
Yeah, it's good, right? I like it.
I think I still have a few of those stashed away somewhere.
All right, let's move on to the next book. No secret to anybody, we have Ultimate Fallout issue number 4, first cover appearance of Miles Morales. Earth 1610. He's not Spider-Man. He's just Miles Morales. I mean, he does wear a Halloween costume, but yeah, what's going on here, Aaron? I know we talk about this book off and on, probably more than we'd like to, but yeah. Did you or Ben say you hit an all-time low or something like that?
So yeah, so Stein found this one, a CGC 98 sold for $1,000, and then he goes on to write, actually it was less than 1,000. So I think it was like 9 something. I mean, it would have been $1,000 over with tax and shipping, I think, or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this book is always interesting. An interesting topic. I honestly think definitely. It depends on like when you bought into it, right?
Absolutely.
At what price did you buy into this book? If you paid $3,000 for this book, I'm sorry, like you're gonna have to hold it for like 20 years, or something like that. Like, I mean, for it to become like relevant again, like it's in that cycle. This is a modern book,
Yeah, if you bought during the pandemic, basically during the that was May of 2020. We called it Miles Mania.
Yeah, because when did this book come out? In 2015, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just now approaching that 10-year mark. So it kind of makes sense that like people, like especially with like all the Spider-Verse stuff that people are going through, Miles Mania, right? So with the excitement of all that, the video game, like it was just like a perfect storm of events, or something that was really well planned out by those various companies that have the Miles property under their belt or whatever. Or it shows you like the kind of like collaboration these companies do together, and like the trends of that, like the book followed, like action figure prices were going up. People were just trying to find anything of what had Miles on it first, at one point in time. like magazines, ads, whatever.
Yep.
So
it was basically, it was almost like Wolverine Part 2, you know,
yeah.
Like Wolverine has always been a popular character, but I mean, let's be honest, those Fox movies made those books go crazy. And
right.
Like after a while, 2012 when he was in Japan in that movie, when he fights Silver Samurai, I mean, after that, people were just Wolverine crazy. And then you had Logan, and once Logan happened, Old Man Logan book started going crazy, and then everybody started looking for those preview appearances. So
right.
Yeah. What up, Jabbish Creed? Thank you for joining, man. Appreciate your brother. He says Miles is going to the moon. Your boy, the alien, says cheers. Appreciate you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Mr. Slack says, when does UF4 peak again? Spider-Verse 3 or live action debut? What is the sell point? I would definitely say live action debut. Probably first or last trailer or opening week of live action debut. Spider-Verse 3, it'll definitely bump, but I don't think it'll peak. I think live action debut could. I don't think it'll ever be what it was in May, the summer of 2020. We'll just say May through whatever. But
I think a live action could get close to that. But again, like
maybe.
When do we say a live action Miles? Like 5-10 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'll still be alive the way my blood pressure's been lately. So, knock on wood. But yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, your boy the alien says, I think this book is a grail of modern comics. Yeah, I would definitely say definitely one of those high end keys. A grail to a lot of people. I wouldn't say holy grail, but I would definitely say grail. I mean, it's an expensive book. A lot of people have not had the opportunity, or at least they waited too long. And once they waited, the pandemic happened. It was way too expensive. So, because I've had at least, Aaron, I've had at least 50 copies of this book. I've pressed at least 100 copies. I'm not kidding. Swear on my life, I've had at least 40 to 50 copies polybag of this book. I've pressed at least 100 of these. I've pressed that polybag crease out with success every single time. And I wasn't collecting it back then though. In 2011, I was buying mine for $40 to $50. I wasn't buying mine for
when it was that $20 to $50 range, I couldn't find copies because no one wanted to sell their copies until they were like $300 raw copies and stuff like that. And then I would say like this is probably like a top 50 modern comic. In my opinion.
I would say top. I would say top 20. I would say top 20, top 15. Top 15.
To me, like, but I mean, if we're talking ultra modern, like anything like 2000 and above or something like that.
Yeah. Let's say,
but like,
let's say 2008 and above.
2008 and above.
Well, no, let's say 2002 and above. 2002, because you got to put NYX3 in there.
Yeah. So I mean, I would put it in the top 50 still for me. I mean, it's not like it's number 50 or anything like that, but like I don't think it's the top 20.
Yeah, I mean, if we put variants aside, I'm just talking about.
Oh, if we're talking strictly A covers,
not necessarily A covers.
Open
first
order
appearances,
first appearances, and open order books. Yeah.
So I think this is a pretty interesting book. I'm really glad that Ben came to the forefront on this one. I did want to bring up the fact that most of you guys already know, but the second print Bagley, as you guys know, is the same. It's basically the same cover, but the difference is you get to see his face for the first time, and then on top of that, the trade up here, the label on the top, Ultimate Fallout 4, it's skinnier. So, but
it says second print under issue 4.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, this is a top 15 modern grail, modern key, not grail, sorry, modern key issue to me. I think if I didn't have so many copies or didn't have, I wasn't lucky and blessed to have the experience that I've had with this book, probably would be a top 10 or top 5 book. But I've had this book so many times; it's been so easy in the past that it's just it to me it's not really a top 5 or top 10 book to have modern grail, modern key, but I understand if people out there completely disagree. I totally get it.
I mean, it's super liquid. I don't disagree with the chat on that. Like the
yeah,
book will always
liquid.
move.
That's actually a great. Yeah, that's actually a great point.
Yeah, like the book will always move no matter what, right? Like, and that's why I said at the beginning, it depends on what your buy-in was. Like, did you buy it off the shelf? Then yeah, you're making out like a band-aid. You know, if you're got into it later and paid like 20 to $50 for it, like awesome. If you were paying the 300 to 500 or whatever it was raw, like ouch. Like
right.
Yeah, then it's like you have to hold.
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Walking Dead 1, that is a top 10 key
Modern
issue
Grail.
modern for me because I've never had that book, and I think there was 7,000 copies in circulation or something like that.
So 10,000.
Yeah, or 12. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Slack says, so I'll bring this up before we move on to the next one. He says, I want to hear Richie and Yeezy's top 10 modern grail list. So before we do that, I ask you to hold that thought because Ben Stein and I are working on something. Of course, all of us are, but Ben and I have already got the ball rolling. We're putting together right now, and we're going to do it on his channel. It'll be all 5 of us, me, Aaron, Bryan, Ben, and Red Hood. We're putting together a show or at least a video, maybe 1 to 2 part video or 1 to 2 part show of either top 25 or top 50. I can't remember, blue chip keys. And I think we're going to do modern as well. He separated silver, bronze. We're doing silver through present day. I say variant age, but yeah. So he separated them. So I don't know how we haven't had a meeting or discussed it, but hold that thought. Keep that in mind. We're going to be having that show or video on Ben's channel coming up probably within the next probably next 3 months. Probably a little less, maybe next month, but once we find the time. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, let's move on. Anything else about this book, Aaron, before we move to the next one?
No.
All right, let's go. All right, so this was Ben Stein's pick here. This is Masters of the Universe issue number 1 from the 1986 series. No newsstand or anything. Of course, the direct market with the star on there. And a CGC 9/8. What's going on here, Aaron?
So I remember last week Stein was saying that this is the first ongoing series, not the first Master of the Universe issue number 1, but the first ongoing series. And then I remember him saying that used to mean something back then.
Yeah.
So I mean, which I completely understand. So this is a CGC 9/8 that sold for $130.
And what's it normally? Did he?
He didn't write that. But let me get GPA pulled up. So I think I was a little young for Masters of the Universe. Was that something within when you were growing up that was big in your childhood?
F you. No, I'm kidding. What do you say? No. Yeah, I was a huge He-Man fan, Master of the Universe fan when I was a kid. I was huge into the cartoons and the toys. I had everything. I had the Skeletor Castle. I had She-Ra. I had everything. And yeah, I just never read the comics when I was younger. I was into G.I. Joe comics and Spider-Man comics. But,
okay, so the high for this year is $325. The low is at $376. So we're like right at the median. I mean, I'm wondering that $76 one is just like a one-off, and it is because most of them are like at least $100 after that, so 115. But most of them are looking around the average of what the 90-day average is $171. So We're below that, and the 12-month average is 194.
So let me ask you this, Aaron. I mean, there's got to be tons of copies of, because I mean, Masters of the Universe was so popular in the 80s. It was so popular.
Oh yeah, I mean,
there's got to be tons of copies of this, right?
I mean, for just this year alone, just the direct version, 530 have sold.
Wow.
So I mean, it moves like, I would
it's
say
another
that's
liquid book, you would say.
Yeah. I mean, with that much movement, and then like versus a newsstand, there's only been 6 sales.
Oh wow.
Total, yeah. But I mean, yeah.
That would be my I actually just pressed one of these books for my buddy. I did a huge submission. I'm actually still doing the submission for him. GC submission, and I pressed this book, and I wanted to read it. Like that's how, but of course, it's not my book. So, so I went to my comic shop and wanted to see. I was just curious. I didn't go to eBay or anything. I was like, I wonder how much a raw copy worth. And they had like, I think, how they grade. If they say it's 8.0, it's typically like 9.2. So, for these back issues, I think they had like 8.0s and 8.5s for like $28 to $32. So I grabbed one. I just picked one up, and it should be here probably in about maybe about 2-3 days.
That's how I got my Adam Hughes Dirty Pair, was from my comic shop. Well, I think I saw it on eBay, and I saw that my comic shop had it, so I was like, let me just buy it off their website then.
Yeah, I really like my comic shop. They're very convenient, very the only down part I would say about them is that I've had so many orders canceled with them, because when you put your card in with their system, it doesn't go through right away. It will go through like between 5 to 10 minutes later, all the way up to like the next day. And my bank is like, well, during the pandemic was super sensitive. So anything that looked like, that was out of the normal, fraud alert. And I I don't get emails on my phone. So, they all of a sudden they're saying there's a problem with your order, whatever. And
you have to you have to fix this payment or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
my credit card freaks out when that happens.
Yeah. So,
or maybe it's my bank card. It's one of the two.
It's my bank card. It's Citibank. I have Citibank, and they're super, super sensitive. Super sensitive. High Voltage Mark says, hey, what up, man? What up, man? Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you very much. Slack had something interesting, and so did your boy, the alien. I want to get to it. It says, lesson is stock those eBay auction. Lesson is stock those eBay auctions if you want to deal. Definitely. Yeah, that's the watch list is huge. Watch list is huge. Your boy, the alien, says, wait until these kids that watch Spidey's Friends get old enough to buy their nostalgia. This is like a 181 type book. Oh, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I don't know if I'll actually be around then, but
but that's still at this point like 10 to 20 years from now, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Ferdy, what up, Ferdy? What up, Ferdy? He says, dude, yo, Manny, I know Citibank sucks, but actually, Manny's a banker too. He works on the retail side of banking. I work in the wholesale side. And I might be going back to work soon. So fingers crossed. Got a really interesting email today. Talk about that another time. But, yeah, I agree with you, Manny.
So you, Manny, and Ferdy could start like the comic bank Illuminati, basically. Cartel, money cartel, where you're laundering money through comics and stuff like that, and real estate.
Yeah, that's funny. Venom Unleashed. What up, man? What up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. He says, what's up, fellas?
If you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah, I actually just opened a Patreon for us. I think I already told you. But yeah, hey, Dave's Collection. What up, man? Brian must have pushed over everybody. Appreciate you, Brian. Love you, brother. I was a dick to Brian on Friday, last Friday, and I feel so horrible. I just wasn't feeling good. I was a grump. I'm getting old, I told you. But yeah, he really hooked us up. And of course, thank you to Funhouse for giving him the idea. Dave's Collection said, well, what's good, fellas? What up, Dave? One of the funniest guys in the community. His content, it makes me laugh every time. What up, Dave?
Nice.
All right, let's move on to the next book. Ooh, I'm really glad you guys did this one on Friday because I'm really glad. I really like this because when I was doing numbers today, I was just like, oh man, this is a cool book. All right, so we have Star Wars Special C3PO. This is issue number 1. This is the 1 in 1,000 Red Arm Spotlight variant. Is this Tony Daniels?
Tony Harris.
Tony Harris. Okay.
Yeah.
So specifically in a CGC 9.8. Now I'm showing the signature series because we have a specific sale we want to report on. What's up here? What's going on here, Aaron?
All right. So the signature series book recently sold this year for $262 in a CGC 9.8. And then in 2023, this same kind of book, CGC 9.8 signature series by Tony Harris, sold for $504. I mean, this book doesn't show up very often. Mm-hmm. And then you're also talking about CGC signature series 9.8. Like, I mean, I get it that like that might have like it might benefit, you know, it does get that bump if it's signed also by by Daniels, right? No.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Harris. Yeah, Harris
and Daniels, right? Okay. So in 2018, a signature series of that sold for a high of $900.
Because this isn't even the issue itself. The guts, it's not even a key issue. It's just like a one shot, right? Or is it a one shot or ongoing?
Yeah, I think it's just a one shot.
Yeah. And so I was looking at the regular covers, and they were like dollar bin books. I think the most I saw was like $7 for cover A, raw.
Right, but who's ordering 1,000 copies of that?
Oh yeah. I mean, Star Wars is typically a pretty heavily ordered book, but a C3PO Star Wars, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah.
So, I did a deep dive on this when we were pulling numbers today, and I just love this cover. The red arm is so cool. But yeah, Aaron brings up a great point. Who's ordering 1,000 copies of 1 in 1,000? And I think there's only one listing right now on the Bay. I went to Mercari, didn't see this book, didn't see any. I looked up the sales at Mercari, didn't go to Amazon, didn't go to any other sites. I did hit my comic shop in Midtown. Of course they didn't have them, but yeah, this is a cool book.
Yeah, and then back in 2017, this was $1,000 book.
So selling for ratio. I wonder if it would have made the hot 10 because it's just selling for ratio.
Yeah, I mean, but you're also talking about CGC 9.8 as well, selling for ratio.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, and then last year, just the blue label by itself sold for $500.
Slack has a good comment. He says Red Arm was huge spec for Star Wars fans at this time. Cool.
That is true. I do remember that.
What year is this again? What do I have? 2016. That's right when I got back into comics. I literally got into comics in April of 2016. I mean, back into comics because, of course, I collected when I was a kid, like we all did. But and I didn't know anything about spec or invest. I didn't know anything about anything. So,
Blind Adam, he's so funny.
Yeah, he is. He says, "What up, Blind Adam? I love you, brother." He says, "C3PO and R2D2 or nothing but a bunch of whores."
It probably means R nothing.
R nothing. Gotcha.
Yeah, because he used text to speech, and sometimes it misspells words for it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I really want this book. If I end up going to San Diego, I'm 50-50. I didn't think I was going at all, but I'm 50-50 right now.
Dang, hell yeah, let's go.
But if I don't go,
well, no, you should go because that's like you've never been to a comic convention before. Like, go to the highest one ever. And
yeah, then, I've never gone to.
So that way, like nothing will ever top that. You know what I mean? Your first experience is like the biggest convention ever.
Yeah,
and then the only thing that will ever top that is going to a convention that's like solely like comic driven, like something like Heroes or like Baltimore or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I want to go. You're getting me all excited. I did say if we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will go to SDCC 2024. But just I don't know. I guess
we're still booking our Airbnb. We haven't found that yet. So
I actually know some people because Del Mar Racetrack is right there. It's literally like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. I know everybody
on the racetrack.
No,
I'm just joking.
it's a very it's basically a 1%er area.
Shit.
It's millionaires, billionaires, all
McMansion,
it's
like
crazy.
tech billionaires and things like that.
Yeah. So and Del Mar is from Gaslamp Quarter is basically about 20 minutes. I think Manny, if you're in the chat, you probably know a little bit more. But I think it's about 20 minutes, maybe 20, 22 minutes, 25 minutes away.
Oh, so that's where I'm going when I go pick up my caviar when I'm out there. I'm just joking.
But I have some. So anyways, I have people that own horses. People I know, me and my dad and I, that own horses, trainers, owners, and or executives at the racetrack. And some of them live in the area, which is a little bit far because I know that everybody wants to be close to the con. But I have some people that have places in La Jolla and by the Gaslamp Quarter. So
nice.
I could ask around. It just depends if I end up going or not. I did say if I didn't go, I was gonna go to a card show. So
go to Nationals then, because that's the same weekend.
Yeah. That's but that's in Ohio, right? Ohio or Cleveland, yeah. Yep. But yeah, I really do want to go. But we'll see. Yeah, awesome sauce, brother. I've been to Vegas so many times.
But for the adult video expo.
Yeah, I actually never gone to the adult video expo. But it looks interesting. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever go back to Vegas the way that I used to party in Vegas. I think if I go back to Vegas, because I have some family lives there, besides seeing family, I just want to like play cards and eat a buffet and go to sleep. But awesome sauce alludes to that. Says need to take Richie to Vegas in January for the adult video expo. That would be an amazing first time convention experience. I've never been. No, I'm sorry. I did go to the LA one. I did go to the LA trade show. That was in, I think, 99 or 2000. I went. Yeah, I was dating this porn star named, her name's Stacy, but her porn name is Raylene, and she worked for Vivid. So I went there and hung out with her and brought all my friends. She got us like VIP stuff, and it was pretty exciting. But it's just like every other trade show. But the difference is that you have half naked women running around with, their passes. So. All right, let's move on. Sorry, we got sidetracked there for a minute. Let's move on to the next one. Aaron's off tomorrow, so we're just kind of cruising, hanging out. Usually we go pretty fast, but let's go. We have the last book. I believe this is the last book. This is Venom #3. This is the third print of Donny Cates' run, the 2018 series. Ryan Stegman, I believe, is the cover because he did the interiors on this book. So, and this is an interior panel as your first cover appearance, or maybe second cover appearance of Noel, but your first appearance in the guts. What's going on here, Aaron? And I love this book, just to let you know. I love it.
Yeah. So the high for this book this year was $310, and the low was $216. We had a sale earlier, right in the middle again, at $250 recently. That was April 29th. Oh, that was actually yesterday. Okay, when we were reporting this, I think I saw the sale for what, $233 or something like that.
So it hit the low on Friday, and you're saying that the update or the in real time is a little bit higher.
Well, was Friday the 25th?
No. See, 29, 26.
Okay, yeah. So then I probably would have saw the one on the 25th. Yeah, so that one sold for $260. and then so it's actually decreased a little bit, only by like $10. But I mean, great cover, second print, first cover,
third print. Yeah.
third print, yeah. Third
This
print, if
is
you don't,
what Aaron and I were saying. Remember, we were saying we've talked about it multiple times on multiple shows, but I think Aaron and I are in the minority. We actually like these interior reprint cover, interior panel reprint covers, but not all the time.
not
Sometimes they
all the
hit.
times, yeah. I mean, so, like if they pick the right panel, it's a home run to me. I think it's a shoe in whenever they just reuse the A cover and just take out one set of colors or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was, oh wow, if you are ever going to say, okay, a panel on a cover as a reprint and resell it, you know, even at $4 at the beginning, I mean, come on. Well, they did it the right way on this one. I thought this one really stuck.
No.
Funhouse says he wants this book. Yeah, me too. I've never had this. I've had Venom. I've had the first print cover. I've had at least 3 or 4 copies of that. At 9/8, I've had 2 of those. And then I have a couple of the Grindel. Manny, you still out there, brother? If you are, Grindel cover on the, I think it's Grindel in the second print cover where he takes over Venom. Well, Null takes over the Venom symbiote while Eddie Brock is still in symbiosis or attached. But I don't know if they're calling him Grindel or maybe, I don't know. I could be misthinking. I think Grindel was actually the dragon. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh man,
somebody comments. Comment. Let me know.
We get Manny's comment down there.
Okay, so Manny says, I remember back in 2018 walking into the LCS and seeing a stack of Venom 3 third print for cover, and I only bought 2 copies. You know, it doesn't actually surprise me. I've heard this story for different books with Manny so many times. The guy is I mean, he's one of the probably, I would say him and Mercenaut and Half Price Crook are probably the top 3 diggers that I know. He's walked away. He's got such a good, I guess you could say tolerance or mindset. He walks away. He's smart. But this one, I would have probably grabbed that whole stack. I don't know if I would have done it back then though, in 2018, but yeah, at least you grabbed 2 though. That was smart. Nice comment, Manny. That's strong. Awesome Sauce says he's got copy signed by Joe's favorite creator, Donnie Cates, aka Donnie Kits. And then he says, I'll take these interior panels over the current one and 25s any day of the week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because what are they doing? Just turning them into black and white?
Yeah,
sketches.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. AOA says, I hate the symbiotes. There, I said it. No, I feel you. I think I won't say I think. I know symbiote burnout is a real thing because I had it during the pandemic. I mean, from 2020 to 2020, the end of 2022. I didn't. But then like 2023 happened and those Carnage books came out, the red, white, and black. And I started going, okay, all right, this is starting to get better. And then Al Ewing started writing Venom, and I started reading that. And then Dylan Brock took the Venom symbiote, the moniker for that, and I was like, okay, I like symbiotes again. So, but dude, that Venom 2 movie with Woody Harrelson did not help this symbiotes at all. I mean, that was just a bad situation. So, all right, that's it. I believe that's it, right? Yep, that's it. All right, so that was last week's House of Stein YouTube channels, the original Hot 10 show featuring the one and only Ben Stein's Hot 10 list. That was the Buy the Dip list from last week. Now let's go over the 5 books that Aaron and I put on the list, and you guys make your decisions. We'll have, as you guys know, we'll have real good data for you. Couple of these I really like. Couple of them I probably, even if they're $10, I probably wouldn't buy them. So, all right, let's go. Number 5. We are looking at Thor, God of Thunder, number 6. This is the Esad Ribic regular first print cover. We are looking at raw, high grade, near mint, or better covers. of course, this is a key issue. It's got a couple things going on with it. First appearance of the symbiote god or goddess symbiotes, which is Null. We end up, Donny Cates retcons in 2018. We find out it's Null, but he's unnamed. We're looking at raw copies, like I said, this time last year on a 6-month average, $78. And I love this book. There's also newsstand copies and really cool incentives as well. Gore the God Butcher, Origin in the Guts as well. And he's on the cover.
Well, that's the last year for Marvel newsstands too, isn't it?
I think 2013. Well, maybe it is 12. I don't know. It's 12 or 13. You could be right.
I think it was like December of 13. I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. So, Saint high grade, near mint or better copies. I say near mint or better because I don't like near mint or near mint plus or whatever. But some sellers, they list stuff as that, and you just got to take it. Grading subjective, and you just got to roll with the punches. So yeah, that's the data I pulled. We're looking at March and this month of 2024. The average fair market value is a solid $25 for this book. This book is down almost 60 something. I think 64%, wow. 65%, give or take, of course. What do you think about this, Aaron? Are you buying in at $25 if you see a 9.8 worthy copy?
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about looking for Thor God of Thunder back issues. That's honestly a good idea, just because even if since we're already past that point in Thor movies, just the idea that of that is a good read, right? I think that will always hold some sort of value in comic book collecting, no matter what happens in movies, right? And TV shows.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even though Taika Waititi shit the bed and completely ruined this very beloved character by comic book collectors, fans, speculators. I mean, Jason Aaron is I would say he's definitely a Hall of Fame writer. The guy is incredible. This is one of the best Thor runs, if not the best Thor run. It's just so much stuff going on here from a speculator's point of view and also from a reader's comic fan point of view. There's just it just fits every build, this entire run. And it's a great Esad Ribic cover, regular cover. The variants actually aren't so great. I'll be honest with you. For number 5, there's a 1 in 50. Who did it? Is it a Ribic? Yeah, it's a 1 in 50 Ribic, I believe. That's actually a really good cover. It's got gore on it, but most of the variants for this runs aren't very good. The cover A's it definitely helps. Cover A's are incredible. Almost every issue of this run, except issue 8. I don't like that pink or whatever on there, but yeah, I like this one a lot. I'll give you guys a little bit of cornbread. I wouldn't say it's cornbread, but just to give you a tip. So I go to if you can go to an online retailer and actually see if they'll actually show you the scan of the front cover. There's a couple of them that do that. My Comic Shop's one. Just go ahead and check out that UPC, because a lot of times newsstands, even from on the online retailers level and retailers, they miss it. They miss it a lot. And I have found so many modern age newsstand keys that way. So yeah, just be aware. If it has 59606 in the UPC, it's direct. 9.9999 times out of 10, it's a Marvel Direct. But if it doesn't have, and it's 2002 to modern day, it's Marvel and it doesn't have 59606 in the first 5 numbers, it's typically a newsstand. Yeah, I like this book. I like this character. It's just too bad the live action, the production team just completely trashed him.
Yeah. Well, they also don't do the barcode trick at the last few numbers with the issue number for the first 3 numbers, cover number, and the printing.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. Yeah. Venom Unleashed says recently picked one up for 20. Nice. Yeah, this one and what's the other one? 2 is your first Gore the God Butcher. 5 is Origin of Gore the God Butcher. And then you have 19, which is cameo of the bull, the Roxxon guy. What's his name? He turns into Matador, or I don't know. I forgot the name, but and then 20 is the full appearance. 25, you have first Jane Foster Thor, which I think is a full appearance. But and by the way, the second prints on here are incredible. They're the print run on them are very low versus the first print, and they have the blue. I love the blue.
Oh yeah, the blue bottom,
blue label. Yeah. It's tight. Slack says Gore is dead Speck until they do Thor 97. Yeah, definitely. I love King Thor too as well. And I on this channel when he was called Popcorn Culture, I think Ferdy was with me actually. I did it. I'm pretty sure Ferdy was there. I could be wrong, but I did a show right before Thor 4, and I was doing a spec, and I was talking about how Gore was going to be the 1A to Kang. Right? I was just like, that's what's going to happen. And I just literally got shat on. I mean, not shat on, but I literally was completely wrong. I was so shocked, and it just completely made me just, ugh. And then when I actually watched the movie, I was like, oh, this is bad. But yeah, interesting. But I'm not afraid to say when I'm wrong or what have you. You know, I'm wrong a lot. To be honest with you. Blood Sauce says, yeah, that's not cool. Can't guarantee grade on Raw. Ferdy says, I won't pay anything for this. JT's off my list personally, but nice, fine, rich, and ye. Oh, why is that, Ferdy? Is it because of the recent Avengers runs and how he just continuously keeps mashing up characters rather than just having like an original character? I don't like when he does that. If that's the reason, that does get annoying. But yeah, I think Jason Aaron's badass. He says JT, so that's not Jason Aaron. What is JT? I won't pay anything for this. JT's off my list personally, but nice, fine, rich, and me. Okay, maybe. I
couldn't figure it out when I read it like 5 times.
Yeah, it's incredible comic book writing. Jason Aaron definitely. I mean, if he ever goes into iconic level, I think this run could be what really helps get him there. AOA says Thor 4 ruled, and it's Wilbur, what up, man? He says Taco YTT owes us all a check. I hope he eats a rotten batch of kiwis. Hey, you're funny, Wilbur. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Mac, aka Blood Sausage, says, yeah, Aaron is dope. Yes, that's why he's my co-host. No, he's talking about Jason Aaron. Totally agree. But I love Aaron, you too. He's laughing at Wilbur. He should be sued for negligence. And then Wilbur says, at least Chris Hemsworth is out there apologizing for making Love and Thunder a far stupid Aussie. Yeah, gotcha. Did I just see some pretty cool effects there? Oh, that's so cool. How are you doing that? I see the balloons. How do you guys?
You did the balloons the other day. You did the balloon, like you were literally like not looking at the screen, and you did
went like this, or I went like this, right? Or I don't remember.
Like you had balloons fall down. I think it's like 2 thumbs up, if I'm not mistaken. I think no.
Oh wow, that's so cool. Is it a YouTube thing or a StreamYard thing?
Neither. It's a MacBook thing.
Oh, it's a MacBook thing. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Mac, aka Blood Sauce, says, very true, Rich. I shot for Newsies on the Bay that are mislabeled. Okay. Totally. Minotaur. Thank you. Of course, it's Mikey, aka Funhouse. Always on point. Thank you, Funhouse. Yes, Minotaur. Dad Life says, hell yeah, dollar, spitting knowledge, newsstand hunter in the house. Yeah, I'd love a newsstand hunting, man. It's an addiction. All right. Ferdy is lolling me. What is the JT? Are you gonna tell? Yeah, Dario Agger. Yeah, Minotaur's human ego. So the alter ego of Dario Agger is Minotaur. So his first appearance in cameo is 19. First full appearance is 20. There's also like something like a 19.1 and a 20.1. It's really weird.
We have like the smartest chat like in the comic.
Oh yeah.
They're fast with their answers too.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Ferdy says, I don't know. I just never liked the appearance. Felt like I was just following the crowd. Gotcha. Okay.
Sounds like you got a key collector alert. No, I'm just joking. I had to. It was just
funny.
too easy.
You're funny.
Sometimes
all right. Yeah, Aaron's on a good one tonight. I love the energy Aaron brings tonight. Love it. I love the energy all the time, but tonight he's got an extra step up. So 40 in the chat. Thank you. Holding it down with the wrench. Course, Mikey, the sharp one, aka Funhouse, says 40 in the chat. Appreciate you, brother.
Well, it's because I did a hybrid instead of an indica hybrid.
Oh, okay. What is that? I don't know anything about. I don't know anything.
So instead of like being like
sativa or sativa.
So it's a hybrid is between both of them. It's a mixture between both, but I don't remember what higher percentages of what.
Does it make you paranoid or anything like that? Or?
Nah, I've smoked so many years now at this point that I don't get paranoid anymore.
Well, that's because you're a good person. So, and I say that with honesty. Well, he's a good person and he's very honest.
I feel like I'm not doing anything illegal, so.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Number 4. We've had this on before on one of the early episodes, but we have X-Men issue number 101 from 1976. This is an iconic book. First appearance of Jean Grey with the Venom, the Phoenix powers, aka Phoenix, and of course, Wade Wilson's best friend, Ryan Reynolds' best friend, Black Tom Cassidy, first appearance in full. So we're looking at this time last year, April 2023, all the way through the year. So basically a 6-month average, $2,000 solid. Basically, it was like $1,998. I came up with the number and like 45 cents or 50 cents. So I just leveled it at $2,000.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're looking at, for the last 30 days or less, multiple sales. Okay. For a CGC 9.6, we're looking at not raw copies, CGC 9.6, which I think is very, very high grade, acceptable for this book. $1,600. Okay. Now that is down at or about 20%, which isn't like a huge drop, but this book is so expensive in this grade. $400 makes a huge difference for me. What do you think about this, Aaron?
I like this book. I've always liked this book. I feel like it could dip down a little bit more before I bought into it at this grade. But maybe I'm just thinking of pre-pricing, like before the X-Men hype and all that. Like as soon as the Dark Phoenix movie tanked all these books, I was looking into buying some of these books. Like I saw X-Men 101 pop up, like a CGC 9.2. Someone was selling it for like $300, maybe $350 or something like that. And I sent the post to a friend that I knew that was looking for this book. And I was like, hey man, if you don't buy this book from this guy, I'm gonna buy it. It's exactly what I told him. I was like, I'm gonna give you dibs first because I know you've been looking for it. But if you pass on it, let me know because I'm gonna message the guy.
So you were not only helping him, but you were basically trying to talk yourself out of it.
No, I just knew that it meant more to him than it would for me, right? I saw it as an opportunity to flip, right? Because I knew it was going to be at some point in time, a 9.2 of this is like, for something like this, like it was like 200.
That's a great grade. 9.2, great grade.
Yeah. I mean, but it was after the Dark Phoenix movie. Like, no one cares about Phoenix anymore.
It was horrible.
Like you could see definitely, it was the waves that Mel always talks about, right? Like it was definitely
peaks and valleys.
Yeah, it was the peaks and valleys, and it was definitely like that tank. But I mean, with a book like this, like you said before, it's iconic. So of course it's going to go back up. I mean, I didn't expect like something like Pandemic to happen, or whatever, where prices went bananas. But there was definitely books within that needed price correcting. And
yeah.
Like I'm not going to see this book ever again in a 9.2 or whatever for like $300. But to me, like for 9.6, even though it was like 2K at one point in time, I think it still has a little bit more diving to do before I would buy in. Like I think I would feel more comfortable paying like 1,200.
Gotcha.
But the only way I'll catch that is if there's an auction that goes on. That
are you saying for a 9.6 or a 9.2?
For a 9.6.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, it's still too expensive for me in a 9.6. 1,600 is it's just too much. There was a low sale. I did see a low sale for, I think it was like 1,500 even, but they are all the sales were between 1,550 and 1,650, and there were multiple sales. Yeah,
but I mean, that just shows you the amount of copies that are out there too, kind of. I mean, I'm not saying it's a super high print run at this point in time, but this is like that relaunch era, like, because you're talking about like 94 was like the Claremont start, right?
Right.
So
yeah. So you saw my copy, right, when I bought it last year. So I was on Mercari. I go on Mercari and I put in. I used to do this on eBay, but eBay is so big and there's so many people, it doesn't really work anymore. Even if you hit newly listed, it's just too much work. But Mercari is a good one to do this for. So I put in comics in the search bar, and then I put in newly listed, and then I put in comic books, newly listed Marvel comics, Marvel comic books. I put in variant with an E instead of an A, and I go down the newly listed. I always got to do newly listed, and this book was pops up newly listed for like, and it was nice copy, Aaron. It needed a press, but I mean, this thing was beautiful. In the condition, it was at least an 8 out. And I was like, oh my God, $260. And I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother sending the guy a offer. I just bought it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I ended up flipping it. I ended up selling it about 6 months ago. Yeah, 6 months ago. I sold it on eBay. Maybe 6-7 months ago. I sold it for, I want to say $650.
Mm-hmm.
And the book was down. So yeah. 1976. I'm trying to think if there's a Mark Jewelers. Let's check it out. Let's see if there is a Mark Jewelers of this book here while we're doing this.
I mean, I just like this time period of X-Men books anyways, right? Like it's like really basically like 900 or 94 to let's just round it up to 300, because there's some good issues in between that.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, that's like your base level of X-Men knowledge, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, because all the animated series are all just story arcs from within those gaps.
Yeah, good point. All right, uncanny. I know this isn't uncanny; it's just X-Men, but they listed under uncanny my comic shop 75 and up. So let's see if this book comes. Here's 101. Yeah, there's a Mark Jewelers. There is a Mark Jewelers for this book, guys. National Diamond inserts were going on, and typically if there was most times if there's in my experience, what I've seen, I could be wrong, but when I see a National Diamonds insert, there's not a Mark Jewelers. It's either one or the other. And the National Diamonds did it for about, I think, 20% of what the Mark Jewelers amount were doing. So a lot of Amazing Spider-Man. I think they start like at like 101 or 101, maybe like 110 or something like that. Yeah, so there is a Mark Jewelers. Look at all these. There used to be tons of these. Here's one right here. I love this cover. Such a badass. CGC 70. That's nice. Mark Jewelers. So, yeah, just food for thought, just to let you know. There is a Mark Jewelers for this. All right. Let's move on to number 3. This was Aaron's pick. This is Hawkeye issue number 1. This is the irregular David Aja cover from the classic, famous Matt Fraction run from 2012 in a CGC 9.8. A couple key I guess you could say situations going on in the guts here. You have the first appearance of the tracksuit Draculas, aka the Tracksuit Mafia, and Arrow, who later becomes Lucky the Pizza Dog. Okay. There's newsstands of this book. There's Aaron, what is there, like 4 or 5 prints of this book as well?
I want to say it's like 3 or 4.
And there's an Addy Granoff incentive too that has like Hawkeye on there.
The 1 in 25, right?
Yeah. So we're looking at February through early April of this year. Average fair market value for this book was $114, and there was a high sale of $170 and another sale for $140. But there was wait till you see what's about to happen. Okay. This is like within the last few weeks. Okay. This was April 26th. This was the sale you were talking about on Friday, right?
Oh, yeah.
$36.59. So this thing is down on an average. Let's say 30-day average. Actually, this was, it's about 30-day average. $56 US. It's a low sale, $36.59. First question to you, Aaron, is that do you like this run, this Matt Fraction run? And my second question is that are you buying in not for 36, but at $56 for a CGC 9.8?
Yeah, I like this run of Hawkeye. It's a good read if you haven't read it before. I have the lab myself, so I'm partial to it. Like, I call all my dogs pizza dogs because they eat pizza.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool.
Like, I'll give them pieces of a pizza or whatever. I know, like, you're supposed to limit like garlic intake and all that, but the amount that they're getting is not lethal amounts, like in just a piece of pizza, like just maybe like a pepperoni or whatever, or just a small piece of crust. The cheese tax. But personally, I like the third print covers with that all purple background.
Yeah. Big time.
That's the choice. But I mean, like, if first print A covers are always going to do well no matter what. They definitely put this artworks or Aha's art style on the map with the usage of it for the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus.
What'd you think about the show?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah, I didn't have any complaints about it. Like, I thought it was whimsical. Like, it had that Die Hard feeling to it, but then like still within the Marvel universe.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of fan service too.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job. I know Long Short. I think me, Aaron, and Long Short are we all three feel the same about that movie and Kate Bishop. But I liked it. I thought it was awesome. I know a lot of people thought it was trash, but I thought it was really good. Awesome Sauce Radio says this book is legendary. Kate Bishop needs more cosplay love. Yeah. What'd you say, Aaron? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it stayed true to the comic book series within itself too. Like, I mean, it wasn't like a shot for shot by any means of anything, but you definitely could tell that they pulled from the source material, which I enjoy that more than the like just completely blowing it off.
Definitely, that's where my fan service comment. 100%.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, there are newsstand copies of this. I'm pretty sure there's a newsstand for almost every issue in this run, because this was getting really close to the end of what Barnes and Nobles and Borders was selling when they were selling comics.
Selling Marvel comics.
Yeah, Marvel Comics. DC went to 2017.
Right.
So, one more thing. What do you think I've never checked, but the print run's got to be huge on this, right? I mean, one part of me says no because it's Hawkeye, right? But another part of me says it's yes because it's Fraction. But I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't collecting comics in 2012. Was he popular back then? I know Aha was.
Well, this was in the time period of when, like, Hawkeye would have been a better known name by this point because the Avengers was already out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that within the same time period?
Which Avengers?
Just the first one. What year was that? Was that
2010? You talking about the I don't know. Ask me again. Sorry, I was reading.
What year? Yeah, what year did the Avengers movie come out?
Yeah. So Iron Man came out 2008. I want to say 2012, 11 or 12, right?
Okay, so it would have been around that time period when Hawkeye would have become a little bit more of a household name, right?
Yeah, definitely. Good point.
I mean, so I don't know if it was translated to comics by that point in time. I mean, I'm sure we could look up print estimates or orders ordered, or numbers ordered by retailers. Estimates.
But it's still a crapshoot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would assume it's probably still like
a typical number.
Like within issue. That 20, like that 25,000 to 60,000.
60,000. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, 30 to 60. Yeah.
Yeah, within that range, right?
Yeah, like that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like back issues aren't, or like wherever I've been, back issues aren't loaded with this run, but it's not always like readily available either.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. So that's why I'm thinking it's on the lower end of like probably like the 30, and I'm just guessing.
Kind of like how War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas was like, it was like in that 60,000, 65,000, 60 or whatever, 60,000 range. Yeah. And then of course the number 2 issue where you get in the guts where Swordmaster drops down to like 25K. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Hey guys, that's why I didn't hear Aaron's question at first. I saw what Aaron, I'm sorry. Hi, Nathan. Love you, brother, by the way. He's in my one of my fantasy baseball leagues, and he's going to play football with us too. If you guys want to play fantasy football with all of us, I open content creators and comic book community leagues. I commission them. Stein is my co-commish. Let me know if you guys are into that stuff. I will send you an invite. We could do leagues all the way up to 16. I'm not doing no 20 team leagues, but we do 16 teams. Hi, Nathan says to AOA, thank you, AOA, but folks don't follow me. I'm a jabroni. So when I was reading that, when you're asking me the question, that's how I kind of just spaced out. And I went.
No, I get it.
I went to Instagram to make sure I was following Hi, Nathan. And if I wasn't, I was going to say, hey, look, but just to let you guys know, Hi, Nathan, good community member, sharp speculator, very solid collector. Here's his Instagram. It's Hi Nathan _ crow's feet. Make sure you guys are following him. He's a good guy. He's got really good content on his socials. Yeah, appreciate you. Hi Nathan. And AOA, of course, throwing it down, trying to share the love. And then AOA says, cool cover, but a very light key Hawkeye one. Totally agree. Oh, Paco, this is my brother. My brother. Literally, because his last name is Taylor. He's a friend of mine, and he's another guy. Is very sharp, very, very knowledgeable. He also wrote. He's a journalist. He also wrote for multiple platforms. You guys know he worked for. I believe he wrote for CBR. What was the other ones, Paco? Comic Book Realm, some other ones too. A very good speculator. He says the number or reprint suggests a smaller print run. Okay. Yeah, Paco is sharp. He's usually right on point on that one. So thank you, Paco, for joining. He typically doesn't do the YouTube thing. I don't even think he has an IG. He does Facebook. He's old school. He's rather than messing around on the internet, he has a job and a family, but like all of us, but then all of his free time, he's digging. This guy's another great digger, and he has unbelievable posts. If you guys are Facebook, hit him up, Paco Taylor.
Oh, it went up to a fifth printing. And then issue 1 had a 1 in 25.
1 in 25 Addy Granoff. Gotcha. Anyway, plenty to look at on your IG. Okay, so there must be I must be thinking of his Twitter. But good guy. Hi, Nathan's a good guy. Make sure you guys are following him. Knows a lot about fantasy too. I was actually surprised, and a lot about baseball and football. He says, when I find them, they are beat like an old rug. Major Comics, what up, man? He says, yo, Spider Guy says, yes, I'm down for the football league. I actually wanted to get in your baseball league, but I didn't have any money. Yeah, you got to bring the money. It's $125 buy-in for the league. I take $100 and I pay the top 3 winners, and then we're going to take $25. This was actually Nathan's idea. $25 from everybody's 125 buy-in, and we're going to buy a really nice slab or key issue comic, and that will go to the grand prize winner. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. Paco says, yeah, before CBR went to trash. Oh yeah, CBR used to be the shizit. Yeah, when I liked a CBR, Paco was probably on there. So I didn't meet him. I didn't know that he was a writer on there. I actually met him in the CBSI Spec, that Spec group, and good guy. Thanks, Paco. I appreciate you. And here's his stuff. So, all right, let's move on. I'm dragging on here. Number 2 book on Buy the Dip, episode 19.1. This is a fun one, man. This is Marvel Feature, issue number 1 from the 1971 series. We're looking at a CGC 9.4 specifically because if you did want to spec on this book or you wanted a buying opportunity, I went over all the grades and wanted to see if there was some kind of margin that could be made up. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Check out this data. So this time last year, so April 2023, on a 6-month average value, $1,029 for CGC 9.4 of this book. Okay. Go a year later, on a 60-day average, $725 for a CGC 9.4. Now, this is your first appearance and origin of the original Defenders team. First off, Aaron, do you like, I know we don't really like team appearances or whatever, but this is definitely a very popular classic team. But do you like this book, first off? And second off, is this a kind of grade for this particular book from 1971 that you'd be looking at, a CGC 9.4?
So I would actually be looking towards like a more modern team, right? Like the team with like Luke Cage, with Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and who am I missing? Daredevil, right?
Daredevil,
yeah.
And Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil. I thought there was 5. Oh, Misty Knight.
Yeah, so I would look more towards that, especially with the like Luke Cage. Is it rumors or confirmation that he's going to be in something coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any confirmations. I mean, there's been rumors, but that was before the writer's strike. It was towards the end of the pandemic. Did you hear something recently?
I thought they had more recent stuff. Like, I think it was like Kristen Ritter's Instagram and stuff like that, and the actors as well.
Like Michael. I forgot his last name. Great actor.
Yeah, like where they had callbacks to stuff or had something recent.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like like a year or 18 months ago. They did.
Was it that long ago?
Well, yeah, it was a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, because the writer's strike either just started or it was right before it. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought there was more stuff recently again, or it got brought up again recently. I don't know.
Okay. That's news to me. I would that would be awesome. I haven't heard anything, but that's cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah, so that's the books I would start looking into.
So you're saying from a spec or investment point of view,
right? Of like something that I'm gonna try to flip later or something like that.
Gotcha.
On a collector's perspective, like obviously you got to go with the original team over the modern team.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Issue number 4 in the Defenders run is actually a cool one. It's your first Barbara, I forgot her last name, as Valkyrie, where she actually like is Valkyrie, not Enchantress shape shifting. This is actually the Marvel feature one, and I believe this is a square bound book, but I've always wanted this book just for like PC reasons. But when I looked at the numbers, I'm going to tell you what I saw when I looked at the numbers. This book in a CGC 9.4 has been an expensive book for a long time. During the pandemic, it really went high, but I mean, before the pandemic, I mean, it was still like over $1,000. It was like very expensive, and this thing is way down. This thing is way down. Let's go back to, so this is an average. I counted 8 sales. That's how I averaged this one. They're all within this 6-month time period for this grade at 1,029. There was a high sale, I believe it was close to like 1,800, 1,800. Then I went to the pandemic prices. They're way over $2,000. They were like $3,000, $3,300. 725 down what a little over 30%. I think this is a good buy, but honestly, I'll be frank with you. I think this could actually go a little bit lower, but based on the data that I pulled, I wouldn't count my chickens before I hatch. Or what's a better analogy? Analogy. I wouldn't wait too long because you might drop the balls, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, because the numbers I saw before the pandemic.
Like you wouldn't hold your breath kind of situation.
Yeah. Like, you might miss out. Miss out.
Like if you see it in that 700s, like I would say like in that 650, 700 range, almost maybe, right?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna ask you, like, would you buy up like 8.5s and all that, like 8.0s, to see if it had that chance of a CPR? But then like you explained that it was a square bound book, so I know those are traditionally like harder to fix up, right? Depending on like glue.
Oh, they're tough. They're tough to press. I actually enjoy pressing square bounds. I know that most pressers don't. I will admit I'm very experienced at resetting spines without splitting it. So here's the thing is that the square bound spine, in case you don't know, so as you guys know, most comic books have I'd say probably 90% of comic books, Marvel comics, they have those the staples, right? Well, with staple from the outside of the spine into the interior pages. Well, with the square bound, you have staples, but they're inside the pages. So here's your book right here. They're actually down. They're not in the spine like this. They're, rather than being on the binding, they're in the interior, inside the wrap, and they go through the pages. Okay, so now the spine is glue in there. There's glue in there, and that glue, it hardens, but it doesn't harden to the point where it's like hard where you hit your head like that. It just makes it firm, just like, so it holds. Well, you warm that up and you could do wonderful things with the spine. And the problem is when people press that book, especially newer pressers, they don't recognize that square bound, and sometimes they forget and they crush the spine and make it like almost like where it's razor sharp. You guys have probably seen it.
Where it looks like a pancake instead of
or it's twisted, right?
Yeah.
And half of the book will be perfect, and then it gets down in the middle and starts twisting, and it gets to the bottom and it's almost crushed. So what happens is they give it to a presser and they say, hey, I want to get this graded. Can you reset the spine? And if the presser is not experienced with the square bound spine, 9 times out of 10, they will split the spine when they try to reset it. And the way you have to reset it is you have to warm up the glue inside the spine, inside the binding, and then you have to reset it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We're going to have some content on cleaning and pressing. It was actually Aaron's idea. Probably do some shorts and maybe do a video. Maybe Red Hood. I'll get Big Leg, and we'll probably do like some kind of like some show, what have you, but we'll talk about it more. But yeah, I like doing it, but it is tough. Aaron's onto something there. To find this in a CGC 9.4 or any square bound vintage book from 1971 that is a 9.4 that has a nice flat square bound spine, it's hard to come by. It's hard to come by.
Ooh, look at Dad's Life question.
Dad Life says, for 1K, this Marvel feature number 194 or Ultimate Fallout 498? Ooh, that's a great question, Dad Life. Personally, I'd rather have this book, but from a spec, that's for PC reasons, but from a spec point of view or investment point of view, I think I'm going towards the Ultimate Fallout 4 and waiting for that live action Miles debut. Just throw it in the bin.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 9.8 first appearance, even though it's a modern and there are a ton of copies out there. Like
preference-wise, though, I'd rather have this. Preference-wise, I'd rather have
this. Yeah, I think because of the factor of UF4 being liquid, like even if someone doesn't want to pay all the cash for it, you can definitely trade up for it.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome Sauce Adam says, have a great night. Have a blessed week. Starting to fall asleep. Thank you for always putting a smile on my face. Love you guys. Love you too, brother. I don't know if you guys know this, but Awesome Sauce Radio is actually, that's Adam's brand. It's actually, he has a YouTube channel and he has awesome content. He does interviews with porn stars. He does a lot of interviews with porn stars. Actually, he has a couple co-hosts that rotate as that are porn stars. So if you guys are into that and you want, and they talk cool, fun stuff with pretty girls, make sure you subbed up to his channel. Have a good night, Adam. AOA says agrees with us. UF4 all day. What up, Reef? What up, Reef? Feature. Gotcha. Yeah, my preference, I'd rather have Marvel Feature 1 in a CGC 9.4 all day. But personally, from a speculator investment point of view, flip point of view, the way that the UF4 is down so much and what we know is going to happen in the future with live action Miles, I would go for the 9.8. All right. He says, what's up, fellas?
Oh, on a personal level too, I think I would choose the UF4 over the Defenders.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just more into modern books anyways.
Yeah.
That's all I'm very selective on my anything that's vintage. Like just because I don't need 10,000 books in my house, you know.
And plus, if you're buying a slab of a vintage book, it's not like you're going to read it unless you're going to CPR it and
right, exactly, and to read it before you send it out to. Unless it's a pedigree, then I'm not cracking that. I'm letting CCS do.
I actually had a really pedigree, Incredible Hulk 182.
That's badass.
I actually got it on Hip Comic. They have auctions. It's like it's a small auction house. They also do buy it nows and stuff. You've heard of it, right?
Yep.
And it was during the pandemic. It was like, was it during the pandemic? I think it was. I don't know, but I got it for a crazy low amount of money. So
I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. So Dad Life says, I pick Ultimate Fallout 4 as well. It's my son's favorite character. He has both second print, can't sell them. Okay, so you're saying he has the Bagley and he has the Pacelli second print variant. I don't know why they called it variant. They should have called it third print, but Reef, we've been saying that we've talked about it since Flipside. I remember. Reef, see forever. I love this guy, man. He's so blunt. He says, I own that feature. Nice. I think what we're trying to get at, what Eric's trying to get at is that even though this is a very expensive book, and I've seen some big numbers on this in the past, this one isn't as liquid as the UF4 will be eventually, or could be, right? So if you list this book in a 9.4, it's probably going to sit on your eBay for a while. You know
right.
What I mean?
I mean, you could also put in this perspective, right? Like, say you're a regular seller on eBay. Which one are you going to throw up for a week auction for starting at $1? Like the UF4 versus this. Like, I think I would have to set the price for this versus starting at $1. Like,
yeah, if we saw the actual data of the back end of the algorithm at the eBay auctions, probably won't see Marvel Feature 1 listed compared to Ultimate Fallout 4, you know?
Right. I mean, which one would you list for $1 and expect to get the like fair market value for
UF4.
Yeah, like easily, right?
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the number one book on this episode. 19.1 Buy the Dip. Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're going to hang out for a little bit, do some pickups. This is a fun one. Batman 655, the Adam Kubert 1 in 10. Very sought after variant, incentive variant. Very expensive book at one time. This is your first appearance of Damian Wayne. Now, this book is down, and you're going to see why. And what I said at the beginning of the show, in case you guys are just jumped in or not going to watch the rewind, as soon as my funds clear, I think I'm going to jump on the secondary market and buy this book in a CGC 9.8. That's just my opinion. But we're looking at March of 2023 on a 90-day average to June of 2023. The average fair market value was $612. Now, this book during the pandemic was like over $1,000. It was crazy in a CGC 9.8. Even before that, it was very expensive. But yeah, $612 was the 90-day average last year. A year later, we're looking at 4 sales just this month in April. I didn't even go to January, February, March. Just this month in April, 4 sales. Average fair market value on a CGC 9.8 is $263 with a low sale of $210.50. First off, I got multiple questions for you, Aaron and chat. Do you like this character? Are you speccing on this character? Do you believe in this character for comics, popularity with the Gen Z millennials, forthwith, and or live action animation adaptation? And then my next question is are you looking at this book, either the regular cover or the 1 in 10 incentive, and or when he first becomes Batman? Which one you think is the more important book? Even though we know this one's more popular, which one is more important to you as a speculator and or investor?
Ooh, I don't think it's ever the first appearance of the character is the important one, right? It's always going to be the first appearance of that character as whoever, like the hero in costume. Like that's always going to trump over like any of the books, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's some like crazy weird variant or whatever, but other than that, like it's always going to be that character in first appearance of.
Yeah.
I
would say almost probably 4 out of 5 times, right?
Right. There's always exceptions to the rule, but like in most cases, it's generally like that.
Like Jenica, for instance, I'd personally rather have first appearance of Jenica 51 than 95. But who's to say what's going to happen 5 years from now, 35 years now, when she, comes to the forefront and gets adapted or what have you?
Right. Like, do you want first appearance of Eddie Brock or do you want first appearance of Venom?
Yeah, good point. Or Green Goblin or Norman Osborn.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Venom Unleashed says Damian is a mainstay. Batman 666. Yeah. Yeah, this is a really cool DC comic character. I'm really happy he became Batman. I didn't start jumping on this character until I joined Flipside. All the Flipside guys, they were big on this character long term. I know Brian McClay loves this character. A few others, I think Dino as well. So yeah, I like this book. I know this 1 in 10 is one of the 1 in 10s. It's so for Marvel so sought after. I would say probably top 10 1 in 10 incentives that is so sought after. Beautiful cover, important first appearance. I like this. I like this buy, and I will decide if I'm going to purchase this book on the secondary market. but in this grade. So
I mean, it's a great Kubrick cover too, as well. That's something that you can't deny. So
yeah. All right, that's it. That is Buy the Dip episode for this week. Aaron, you got any pickups or all right.
my dogs are barking.
No worries. I'm used to it by now, brother. Just to let you know. I remember when I was on Flipside, when it first happened, I think we were either doing like Modern Playbook or I don't remember, but I remember the first time I heard your dog going crazy. Like I was like, because I was already nervous because I just started doing content. But I was just like, I can't think. But now I'm used to it.
It was also like when we were recording stuff too.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, my bad. It's like I just fucked up that entire take, and it was like, usually it was a really good one too, and I was like, kind of like, fuck. So like, what I started doing was like, after I did the introduction of whatever, then I started muting myself in case that happened.
Oh,
yeah. But
what kind of dog do you have, Aaron?
I have a black lab.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, hold on.
All right, what are we opening?
All right, so I just got this comic in. This is from the Art Germ's store. This comic is supposedly limited to 400, which is an indie book, so you know that is somewhat believable at this point, right? I'm really happy with this one, so I'm excited. Oh, it comes with a COA. Ooh, this actually turned out pretty good. So this is the Art Germ. This is this is his exclusive, and so you can see the spot foil is in the trade.
Oh wow! So he did that. He did that cover.
Yeah, so he did this cover.
I didn't know that.
Huh. Yeah, and so there's a one per store as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then this is the one from his website.
Wow,
that is limited to 400. Bro. I ended up with numbers 281 and 282 with the COA.
Oh, those are cool COAs. I can't stand that's how you do a COA right there.
Yeah, so I mean, like that spot foil, that looks really good.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like I think I missed out on the actually I'm working out a trade for the one per store. So the Virgin. So I'll have a Virgin coming up soon. Oh, that sounds weird. But
hey, I was asking I was gonna ask you either last Friday or Friday before, because we had the one per store on Ben's list, but I was going to ask you, is there something going on with that issue? Because there was a ton of variants.
So it's, I think they've been on a break for a little bit, and this is starting a new story arc where it's going to deep dive more into the origin of how everything started.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I showed these off earlier, but I'll go ahead and show off here.
Okay.
I bought Visions.
Nice.
Star Wars. Like I like the Stan Sakai cover.
Hell yeah.
And then I bought the A cover as well because I just love the storyline.
Yeah, me too. I have that.
Yeah. It's like the first Star Wars Visions thing. The Ronin and the droid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being involved in the punk music scene.
I love that cover. Right? Nice job.
Yeah, the Punk is Dead Stormbreakers variants for Wolverine, Matterport Knights.
Those things are underrated.
Yeah, I mean, and the crazy part is like, they always go up in price, or retailers ask for a lot because they don't have. I thought this prison cover was beautiful.
Nice. Oh, that looks like a real nice cardstock cover too.
Yeah, so I can finally find out what happens in issue 39 to see if it's worth the buy, right?
Incentive, yeah.
I always love second prints when I can find them, but you got to pick up the calls when you can. So this is Iron Fist number 2, and then I found this in the back issue this is a brand new book too as well. 1 in 100. The Momoka.
Got it.
I
got it. Nice.
For ratio.
I actually like it. Oh, you got it for ratio. Nice.
Yeah. So I was like, kind of like, I am not complaining about getting this book for ratio. Like I usually don't get to go to. Well, actually, I didn't go for Wednesday. I found it on a Sunday.
Oh shit!
Out of all days, like, can you believe it? I found it on a Sunday.
Don't you love
Or
that when you
Saturday.
when you miss Wednesday, you didn't pre-order anything and you didn't buy anything, try to grab something in the morning on the online retailer, and then you didn't do anything through Friday and the weekend, but then you go to the shop Sunday and you're thinking, well, I know everything's gonna be gone, and then all of a sudden it's sitting on the wall of the rack. I love that.
Yeah, it's still in the new shelf. I was like, kind of like, oh, I was like, it's probably because we didn't have it on the Hot 10, so I was like, kind of like, yeah.
Good
And
point.
then I won this in a Raz.
Is that the one you showed the other day? The Dark Phoenix?
X-Men 135.
That was the one I was like, oh, that's the second part of the what is it? Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's a good one.
So
I think if you're doing the Dark Phoenix, I'm glad you brought that up because we did the 101 on this show. I think you got to have the 101. I mean, I'm sorry, not got it, but if you get the 101 and you do this, you got to get them all, I think.
So you gotta have the regular Phoenix Saga and then like the Dark Phoenix stuff. Yeah, I
agree.
No, yeah, it's like it's owning that set, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to own the set. Let's see, and then a couple card pickups. I got this in from Topps. I bought team sets at the beginning of the year.
Did you get the Ohtani?
So
Dodger, the team set. He's in that. Dodger.
I didn't get the Dodgers one, but I did get this team instead. I think I bought multiple teams. This is just the first one that came in. So you got to get those Ellie's, right?
Ooh.
So I got the Cincinnati. Yeah.
Is that Topps ripped? Topps ripped?
This is Topps now.
Tops now.
Yeah,
I saw those. Wasn't there like a signed one too? They were selling.
Yeah, I figured I'd buy a couple sets to see if I could get any of the number cards or anything like that, or any of the variations. I don't think I did. I don't remember who had variations and stuff like that, but I figured. Oh, I did get a numbered.
Oh,
I got a out of 99. Christian
Impartial Strand.
Yeah.
So most of those are base, but some of them are. It's kind of like just opening a pack. You can pull a numbered card.
Correct. Yeah, and so these are. I like this because they limit the print run, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it's you order through that window, but they have the set number of how many number cards they're going to be. So, I'm
surprised more people aren't talking about those cards. I'll be honest with you.
I mean,
they all do well.
I mean, some do very well, and it's because when people,
not all, but yeah, some.
Yeah, like when people find out about them later, right? Yeah. Like I knew people would hit the nostalgia bug, with the Topanga cards. So that's why I bought 50 of them or whatever I bought, or was it 25? I don't know. But I ended up with the out of 10, and I did not get a number Ellie. I was going for the numbered Ellie, obviously.
I wonder what Ellie for 99 would be. That's probably like a what?
Well, they do all the numbers. You know, they do one of ones as well.
Really?
Yeah, because I got that out of 10 Topanga card. Right?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Did you end up getting any of those CJ Strouds?
I didn't buy that.
I like that card. That's a nice.
That sold out in like 10 minutes, dude.
I thought that it was the.
Oh, I got a numbered Ellie.
No way.
I got a numbered Ellie. Hell yeah. Way. Out of 199.
No.
Right here. Let's go. Numbered Ellie rookie.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, so this is the Topps Now player set. So I pulled the numbered Ellie. Wow. That is amazing. I need to find a top loader right away. Sleeve and top loader. Please.
What's the card number on that one? The card number.
The card number itself. Yeah. Let's see. I think it's a 0D or OD 211.
Okay, let's see.
So
there's like so Oh, there's like different ones. Okay, I see it. Okay, OD-211. Got it. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. Wow, man, congratulations. That's a big one. Yo, man, wait till Ben finds out about that.
I know, right? He's
gonna
so
be
jealous.
stoked for you. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, how cool. How cool. There's a bunch of different ones here. Wow, that's interesting. Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
because there's an image variation one too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
So, is that it?
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right. Wow, I'm glad that happened, Aaron. Couldn't happen to a better guy. All right.
Well, I'm glad it happened live on the channel, like live reaction. Like that, like as you could see, like I took off the seal, so I had no idea what was in here. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah.
All right, so I just have comics. I do have a lot of cards. You guys have been watching my videos. I was going to show those today, but some of those, a few of them, like that Adley Rushman a design variant I pulled recently. I'm sending out to PSA. So all right, so it's all comics. So Ultimate Spider-Man #4. I got the regular 4th print cover. I believe there was an incentive for this. I'm not sure. I have the 3rd print incentive, the Virgin, but I really like the cover. And plus, I've read the story, like all the issues, like at least, well, all the issues. I've read it 3 times. I've read this book 5 and #2. First full appearance, May Storm. I don't know if this book will ever do anything because she shows up on the cover and then shows up before, but I like Momoko. I'm one of the few. I was burned out. I mean I am burned out a little bit, but I'm a fan. I think she has her own niche, and I think she just kills it on this cover. This is one of her really good covers right here. So that's Ultimate X-Men #2. It's a regular. I got the new character. I got 2 of these: a Star Spider, Edge of Spider-Verse #3. I haven't read it. I actually pulled that one of them out of the bag. I have it sitting over here. I was actually going to read it last night, but I fell asleep. So I'm going to read it tonight. So I believe they're on like issue 4 or 5 now. But and then more Ultimate X-Men. I really like this cover. This is a good one. This is a cool one right here. Ultimate X-Men 2. Here's another one right here. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then you like this one, Aaron, because I think you got it too. That same issue of Age of Spider-Verse, but this is a 1 in 25 with Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider. But I actually thought that this. I didn't think, but I wouldn't have been surprised if this thing would moved above ratio on the secondary market. Because of the background, because of the into the the Spider-Verse animation kind of background, but it's pretty popular with a lot of people.
Yeah, Gwen books seem to be down right now, so if you're a Gwen fan, like I would be buying. Just saying. I mean, I know I am.
For the Edge of Spider-Verse, I got more issues. I got the incentive, the Virgin incentive, the Tony Daniels. I really like with Miles in the front. Found this in a dollar bin last week when I went to Comics, Tunes, and Toys. Got it for $4. It's the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil #1, but it's the very rare 2nd print. Really hard to find this book right here. It's a really good cover as well. Got that for $4. Shout out to Comics, Tunes, and Toys in Tustin. That's my LCS. Really good people. Really good people. So I showed this on my IG, and there's actually a story attached to this. If you guys, if I'm boring you, I apologize, but I had my first bad eBay experience today. My first one in probably maybe 4 years, where we were actually arguing in the messages, and I started off very professional, very nice. I tread very lightly when I talk to sellers and or buyers on eBay without kissing ass. And this was marked as like new, near mint condition, or not near mint, but like new, high grade, brand new, or not brand new, but like new, like fresh. Hard to believe it was 2008. And it's a newsstand for the first appearance of Old Man Logan. I showed it on my IG, and the pictures were in the bag, and there was like there was like 8, maybe 9 pictures, and he took pictures of the corner and everything, and it looked good. I couldn't tell. But then when I got the book, I got it yesterday in the mail. I pulled it out of the Gemini comic miller, and you can see the spine is trashed. Literally, look at that. It is trash. The front cover is completely. I mean, I'm not worried about the front cover. I mean, that to 9 out of 10, 90% of collectors would be pissed off about this dented and slightly creased cover, flared cover as well. But it doesn't really break color. And I'm a presser, and I have a nice pressing station, so I can always press books. So I don't really sweat that kind of stuff. But when I saw the back cover of the spine, look at this. It's all down, up and down. There's at least maybe 12, maybe 15 color breaking spine ticks. Wow. And it was sold as high grade, like new. He didn't say near mint, but he did say high grade and like new. And
it's hard to say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the rarity factor that it's a newsstand and stuff like that. So that, to me, that outweighs the actual condition of the book. But I mean, at the same time, if you're going to present it as high grade and you're going to price it as high grade prices, like, yeah, there's no, I have no remorse for the seller that does that kind of stuff.
All the X-Men stuff is going crazy right now. A lot of those X-Men, we've got a little bit of slack on the Hot 10 last Friday. We'll probably talk about it, but backstage or in the chat, but people were leaving messages about, how DMing me and also leaving comments on how we didn't have, what's the book that everybody's going crazy for? The X-Men 333 Ballster, or what's his name? The spec on it. Chat, let me know. It's a really hot book right now. But the problem is the value isn't really doing anything. There's tons of copies that are just flying off eBay, raw copies. CBSI Pete Renna actually wrote, had it on his Hot 10. He actually wrote that it was going for like 20, 25. But what Ben and we did a deep dive. Yeah, that's it. Venom Unleashed, Bastion. Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate you. There are a lot of sales, even on Friday, that were $3 for high grade copies. There were newsstands that were selling for $7, but there was also newsstands that were selling for 30, 35. And there was also directs that were selling for 10 to 15. So when you average them out, it comes out to, there's a lot. I'm not talking one or two outliers. I'm talking about handfuls of cover price books, high grade books that were selling last Friday. So I just couldn't, I guess you can confirm at least in my mind, a $20 to $25 value on that 333 raw at this time. Even though there are sales, but you got to factor in the low sales. You can't not look at those. And there's tons of listings still for like $7.99, $5.99. At least there was Friday. I don't know about now. So I'm anyways, long story short, I'm thinking out of the box, and I'm trying to bring to the forefront X-Men books that I believe are going to show up in the animation, or they're going to do something with. Like, that's one of the reasons why I brought the 101 up, that are not moving, or not, I wouldn't say moving, but aren't bumping up in value like you would think. And trying to like zig where other people zag. I know I use that a lot, but it's actually pretty smart. And I got this one. This is the X-Men 100 homage, and this is the lenticular second print where it's non-lenticular with the Marvel Legacy runs. Nothing key about it or anything, but just the homage cover. But without the lenticular, makes it super desirable, at least for me. I know Aaron feels the same, because these things are very hard.
I have a whole set, so yeah, I finally completed that set. So shout out to Ultra for helping me complete that. But your boy the alien, yeah, I'm talking about Topanga. What's up?
Oh Topanga. Yeah. Oh, you got a 10, huh? Did you buy the slab, or did you get it graded?
I got it graded. I bought a bunch of these, and I was flipping them because I bought them at $2 a card, and then I ended up with the out of 10. And then I was like, oh, I know Topps Now cards. They cut them really good. It's really high grade production. You know, they send it to you in a secure format, right? In these like jewel cases. Like they add the foam to like make sure the surfaces don't get scratched and everything. So I was like, okay, this is a shoe in 10. You just have to wipe it down. And so I sent it out, and then, you know, a 10 for an out of 10 card. I think it's a pop 2. I talked to the other guy that's selling it on eBay, and then, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say we're colluding in prices, but we're
no collusion, no collusion.
Yeah, we're keeping ourselves in check, right? That we're not undercutting each other. We're kind of like, okay, I'm going to list. Like, I saw how much you listed it yours at. Like, I realistically still see this card selling at X amount of dollars or whatever.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I found someone that's interested in it, and so we're talking about working out a trade on it, or him just like buying it outright or whatever.
So here's some spec for you guys. There was some recent news. Actually, it wasn't recent. It was a couple weeks. So whenever the day, actually, it was the day before the eclipse. So whatever day that was, a week, the day before, Daniel RPK came out. And then also the other person was, can we get some toast or whatever, confirmed it. And it's not confirmed, but, you know, for scoopers or whatever, saying that, yeah, we're on, you know, it's going to happen. Saying in the Fantastic Four MCU stuff that Franklin Richards is coming, and so is Valeria Richards. Okay. So I went ahead and checked out some key issues for both Franklin Richards. I have most Franklin Richards stuff besides the vintage stuff, of course, but the modern stuff. But for Valeria, I thought this was cool. So when he put the scoop on Twitter or whatever, and on his site or his Patreon, sorry, and then French Toast or Can We Get Some Toast confirmed it on Twitter, that the scoop that they heard the same. I went ahead and I started looking for Valeria keys. And I thought, oh my God, you know what? If those two are coming together and the way that they're going to do the Fantastic Four in the 60s, 70s, whatever, the chances are, I think, that Future Foundation is going to come. So Future Foundation's first appearance is in this book, which is Fantastic Four 574. That is basically a group of free-thinking scientists assembled by their dad, Reed Richards, which is Alex Power, Valeria Richards, Franklin Richards, Artie Maddox, Dragon Man, and a few others. But case in point is that this is 616, and she actually makes her first full in the 616 in this book, and it's also a team appearance. Now she does make it first appearance in Fantastic Four 54 from 2002, but she's a baby, and she makes a cameo in 50, but she's in the womb. I don't even know how that's a cameo. But there's also an out of continuity version of Valerie Richards, which is in Fantastic Four 15. You guys will probably all have this book, massive printed book from the late 90s. But she goes by Valeria Von Doom, and it's an alternate reality. And then, but there's also Fantastic Four 267, but that's something else. But in the modern era, she makes her first full in this book as Future Foundation. So I grabbed two of them. They're $3 a piece. I got them from my comic shop, and look what they sent me. They sent me a newsstand.
Oh, wow. Well, also I was going to say, you know, if a test tube can be a first appearance, then, you know, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I don't count that book as a first appearance.
No, I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah.
I got another one of these from Comics, Tunes, and Toys. It's my second one. It was selling for ratio, so I just grabbed it. This is nice. The Ultimate Black Panther Virgin incentive. I was saying I really like Momoko. I think she has completely cornered the market when it comes to whatchamacallit, design variants. I I don't think anybody does design variants. There's a few out there that are really good, but like that Wolverine Origins 40. I mean, that 1 in 25, that thing is unbelievable. But I can't remember who does that. But anyways, Ultimate X-Men 2. This is her design variant. She just kills it in design variant. She killed it when Spider-Gwen did that run where she's like Wolverine. She was Iron Man. She did so good. Those things are sought after. So I grabbed one of these, the 1 in 10.
She did those Demon Day ones too, design variants.
This isn't a pickup. I actually pre-ordered this book, or pre-ordered 2 copies back in 2019, and I sold one of them maybe 3 years ago for not very much on Mercari, maybe 4 years ago. And then Long Short had this on his IG and on Long Story Short on Nearing Nirvana.
I already know what you're about to show.
The crazy,
wow.
yeah.
And I can't believe you have one.
Well,
or you had 2.
I had 2, and I completely forgot. I thought I got rid of them, and I was digging for books to list, and I go, "Oh my god, I have another one!" So I'm really excited about it, and it's really good copy. So
because that's like what, like a $300 book now or something like that.
Are you serious,
dude? It's not cheap. I can tell you that. Like, check out Terror Peak, because I think it sold. The last one sold for like 200 or something like that, or 250. Or honestly, wait, actually, I can look at the Long Story Short thing.
Let me tell you what I thought when I found it. I was like, well, shit. I guess the hype's kind of gone, so maybe I got to hold it a little bit. But now you're saying 250, 300. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm trying to remember what episode that was on.
Oh, that was a good. I bought that was like what 6 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago.
Okay, so sometime in March.
Yeah, I think it was like middle March. And then here is my last pickup. This is I got this from Gmart. I got this the week it came out, and it just got to my house on Monday. I know a lot of people are going to totally roll their eyes when they hear this, but in my opinion, this is one of the best covers I've seen this year. I love to call, but when I have this in hand, I'm just like, wow, this thing is sick. It is so sick.
I'm actually trading that book for the Archer, 1 per store.
Oh wow!
Because they're about the same price right now. So I was like, kind of like, and I realized that, like, you know, the what is it? The Archer one could possibly go up, or it might be at its highest, and then that Captain Marvel one that could keep on going up too as well. Just because like it's starting to dry up now at this point.
Yeah, I see a lot of listings for like over
$100. But I looked at sold and I was like
40, 45 bucks or something.
Well, I saw like 100, and then I saw one for 40, and then, you know, like 60, and then like, so it just kept on going back and forth between that. So I was like, kind of like, well, it looks like that the 100 one is like kind of an outlier or whatever.
Northwest, he says, "Yo, Yeezy, I pre-ordered your tape. Awesome, hell yeah. Nova J say that's sick, and thank you, Northwest. That's awesome. Thank you for the support.
Badass. Yeah, thank you."
Eugene says grading, grading's hella fast. I know. I have a bunch of stuff there right now. Okay, let me tell you what's going on right now. So I'm doing this massive submission for a buddy of mine, and I'm doing a favor. I'm fronting the cash, and it's just got way too much money, so I have to hold back because I'm not rich. So yeah, I will get it graded, but as soon as I'm done with my buddy's submission, then I'll send it in. I'm just doing his books right now. Yeah, so that's it. That's the show. Aaron, is there anything you wanted to add, buddy?
I was saying if I could find that that crazy book. I can't find it. Yeah, it was on the Long Story Short episode, but yeah, I don't remember what it was selling for. But I know it's pretty high in price.
Gotcha.
Just because of the rarity factor, and then that's what's driving the high sales right now.
Yeah, I mean it was a really, really good show, and it was really really solid information and content by our boy Ben Deshane, aka Mr. Longshort. So, all right, guys, that's it. This is By the Dip. That was By the Dip episode 19.1. We're going to do the show forthwith and definitely on Tuesday nights. And hopefully we make it every Tuesday, because if it doesn't happen Tuesday, then it's not going to happen. Because we got Brian has Wednesday's show. And then Thursday, everybody just kind of chills. And then we watch Aaron's show on Nearing Nirvana. Which is Long Story Short. That's kind of like at least for me, that's kind of like my night off kind of deal. And then Friday we have Hot 10. Saturday we have Modern Comic Mayhem. So, yeah. I will be, I'm making a video. If you guys are into cards, I'm doing a basketball card video right now. I'm almost done. Probably have maybe another hour of editing. I'm going to upload that tomorrow. So make sure you have your notifications on. Double click that notification bell to all so you don't miss any content forthwith. And make sure you're using Gemini Comic Supply. If you are flipping comics, use the code Popcorn99. Get that 10% off. And if your buddy, your family, your friend, a community member also wants the code, you can share that code with them. Or there's a bonus code, SSP, like Super Short Print 99. You'll get 10% off. These codes should be working. I talked to Brian Kelly, the owner of Gemini, one of the owners of Gemini. One of the partners is a friend of mine, and he's also a really good dude. We had a really nice conversation over email, and a lot of good stuff Gemini's doing. So make sure you guys are using that code. And in case that code doesn't work for you, DM me anytime. I'll get back to you, or DM Aaron. He'll get to me, and I'll get back to you. I'll make sure you guys get your 10% off. Other than that, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment, question, feedback, any positive, negative, whatever you want. We always answer, and we love chopping it up with you in the comments. We love healthy debates and or your support. It means a lot to us. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and take care, everyone.